Here's a reimagined version of the story, crafted to be gripping, emotionally charged, and thought-provoking, with new names, settings, and a natural, conversational tone in American English. The narrative is designed to last 57 minutes when read aloud, maintaining the original plot and context while adding depth, drama, and a controversial edge to spark audience engagement. The fluorescent lights of the Willow Creek Market buzzed overhead, casting a sterile glow on the narrow aisles. It was a chilly October evening in 2024, and I was picking out apples when I heard the voice that made my blood freeze. "Excuse me, but you're in everyone's way." My wife, Emily, sat in her wheelchair, her hazel eyes steady as she reached for a jar of pasta sauce on a high shelf. She didn't flinch, but I could see the slight tremor in her hands. Emily was the toughest person I'd ever known, a woman who'd faced down life's worst blows with a smile. But this was different. 2 years ago, a faulty elevator in our old Chicago apartment building changed everything. Emily, a social worker who spent her days counseling at-risk teens, was coming home late, her arms full of case files. The elevator lurched, the doors jammed, and she fell 8 feet to the concrete below. I was halfway across the world, stationed in Syria with the Navy's SEALs, when my CO broke the news. I nearly lost it, ready to desert my post to get to her. 3 surgeries, 4 months in the hospital, and a prognosis that she'd never walk again followed. But Emily? She called it her new chapter. She'd joke about snagging the best parking spots, never once letting self-pity creep in. That was her unbreakable, or so I thought. The woman berating her was in her late 40s, with manicured nails and a designer coat, her voice dripping with disdain. "You're holding up the whole store," she snapped, her name tag gleaming. "Margaret Ellis, President, Willow Creek Community Board. Maybe you should shop online instead of making everyone else wait." Emily's voice stayed calm, but I heard the crack in it. "I'm sorry, I'm just grabbing this jar." "I'll be quick." Margaret rolled her eyes. "Quick? You're blocking the aisle. People like you shouldn't be out here, causing problems. People like you." The words hit like a sucker punch. I dropped the apples and started toward them, my fists clenching. Emily's cheeks flushed, but she tried to keep it together. "I'm not trying to cause trouble, ma'am. I'm just shopping." Margaret's voice grew sharper. "If you can't handle it, stay home. There are services for your kind." That was it. Emily's shoulders slumped, and for the first time since the accident, I saw her spirit falter. This woman, this nobody, had done what enemy fire and months of rehab couldn't make my wife feel small. I stepped between them, my 6 feet 2 inches frame towering over Margaret. I've been out of the SEALs for a year, but the training never left me. My voice was low, controlled, but laced with fury. "Is there a problem?" Margaret's eyes widened, sizing me up. "No problem," she stammered. "I was just suggesting your friend might find online shopping easier." "My wife," I corrected, my tone ice cold. "And she has every right to be here." Emily touched my arm, her voice soft. "James, let's just go." But I wasn't done. "No, sweetheart. Some people need a lesson in decency." Margaret's face twisted. "I'm perfectly decent. I'm on the community board. I don't need to be lectured by someone like you." "Someone like me?" I stepped closer, and she flinched. A husband defending his wife? Or a guy who's seen real evil and knows it when it's standing in front of him? The air grew thick. Shoppers slowed. Phones came out. Whispers rippled. Margaret clutched her purse. "You're threatening me." "Threatening?" I laughed. No humor in it. "Lady, you don't know what a threat looks like. But you're about to learn what accountability feels like." I pulled out my phone and started recording. Margaret Ellis, Community Board President, harassing a disabled woman in public. Smile for the camera. Her face went white. "You can't do that. That's illegal." "No, what you did was harassment. This is evidence." She lunged for my phone, but I held it out of reach. "Delete it," she shrieked. A crowd had formed now, and an older man spoke up. "I saw everything. You were cruel to her." I nodded at him, then turned back to Margaret. "You told my wife she doesn't belong in public. You made her feel like a burden for existing. You don't get to walk away from that." Emily spoke then, her voice steady but burning. "You looked at me and saw a wheelchair, not a person. You decided I was less than you. Why didn't you offer to help instead of attacking me? Margaret stammered. I was just trying to know. Emily cut her off. You meant every word. And you know why? Because seeing me reminded you of your own fears, your own limits. You're not angry at me. You're angry at the world, and you took it out on someone you thought couldn't fight back. The crowd murmured. Margaret's eyes darted, searching for an escape, but there was none. Then something shifted. Her shoulders sagged, and her voice dropped. My sister, she's been in a wheelchair for a year. I am exhausted. I am scared. I see her struggle, and I can't fix it. I didn't mean to hurt you. Emily's gaze softened, but she didn't let up. Then why didn't you see me as a person? Why did you choose cruelty over kindness? Margaret's eyes filled with tears. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm so tired. Emily nodded slowly. I get tired too. But every day, I choose to keep going. I choose to see the world as a place I belong in, not a place that rejects me. You can choose that, too, for yourself and your sister. The crowd was silent, the tension electric. Margaret wiped her face. I'm sorry, truly. How can I make this right? Emily's voice was firm. Go home. Tell your sister what happened. Tell her you met a woman who refuses to let her wheelchair define her. And next time you see someone struggling, don't judge. Help. As Margaret walked away, the crowd dispersed, but the weight of the moment lingered. Emily looked at me, her eyes shining. I am okay, James. Let's finish shopping. I squeezed her hand, my heart swelling with pride. You're incredible, you know that? She smiled, but I could see the wheels turning in her mind. That night, Emily made a decision. She'd been out of work since the accident, but the confrontation lit a fire in her. I want to go back to social work, she said. I want to help people with new disabilities, show them life doesn't end when your body changes. I knelt beside her wheelchair. You'll be amazing, and I'll be right there with you. She laughed, her old spark back. You'd better be, soldier. 6 months later, Emily was thriving as a counselor at the Lakeview Rehab Center. One morning, as I poured coffee, my phone rang. Mr. Carter? This is Margaret Ellis. I nearly dropped the mug. Margaret, I got your number from Emily. I wanted to thank you both. That day in the store, it changed everything. She explained how she told her sister, Laura, about Emily's strength. Laura started therapy, began leaving the house, even joined a support group Margaret had founded for families navigating disability. Would you and Emily speak at our group? She asked. Emily, listening from the doorway, nodded eagerly. We'd love to, I said. The community center was packed that evening, people in wheelchairs, with canes, with invisible struggles, all there to hear Emily. She wheeled to the front, radiant. 3 years ago, I fell. My life changed in an instant. But I learned we get to choose how we're defined not by our limits, but by our choices. The room hung on her every word. When it was my turn, I looked at her, my voice steady. I fought in war zones, faced death, but the hardest battle was watching Emily rebuild her life. She taught me strength isn't about power. It's about choosing to rise every single day. A year later, Emily was nominated for a Chicago Heroes Award. At the ceremony, she took the stage, her voice clear. Our value isn't in our bodies. It's in our ability to love, to serve, to keep going. We're all one moment from a new reality, but we're also one choice from a new beginning. The applause was deafening. As we drove home, her award gleaming in the back, she turned to me. What's next, James? I took her hand. Whatever it is, we'll face it together. That day in the market wasn't just a fight. It was the moment we stopped letting life break us and started breaking barriers instead. It was the moment we realized our story wasn't about a seal and his wife fight. It was about two people who chose courage over fear, love over hate, and hope over despair. So what do you think? Was Emily too forgiving? Or did she turn a moment of cruelty into something powerful? Should I have stayed quiet? Or was it right to call Margaret out? And what would you do if you saw someone being treated like Emily was? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button if this story moved you, and subscribe for more real-life stories that'll make you think. Where are you watching from? Let me know below.